Though it is going to be an interesting map just because of its 3 spawn locations like this with merry-go-round. One thing I did like, and I'll point this out as soon as we get started, they actually put something in there to make it a lot easier to figure out where the spawning locations are, because the minimap is not too helpful with this. It's actually a little bit visually confusing. I'll have to wait for that to come up, though. Oh, shoot, I think I saw the wrong interface on. Well, darn. We'll have to fix it for the next match. So we're not going to have the Game Heart interface, even though we are in Game Heart, oddly enough. Unless it overrides it. I don't know if it does. I can't open the options menu here, though. I had to switch out of it the other day because it was not working with something I was trying to do. Anyway, it looks like we're going to be going classic casting style here. So in the top right of the map, we have, sporting the red colors, it is AOD's SawGunnerTwo. Wishing his opponent good luck. Have fun, good sir. In the bottom left, we have his opponent, also sporting the Protoss pieces, but in the pink colors, it is Outset's Ender. Oh, trash talk. That band sucks bad. Butthole. Sad face. Just kidding. Hearts. Aw. Anyway, as I was about to say, you can notice that there's a big circle underneath this spawning location here. So if you're actually confused the first time you play this and you look here, this is a natural because it's got an empty circle. Up here, white circle, this is a spawning location. You'll notice that they do this on a lot of different maps. I didn't notice it until yesterday. Quite literally until yesterday. I actually had no idea that there was a way to do that. So every time I started with a new map on this tile set, I would actually just end up scouting randomly. And yeah, there we go. Ender actually pointing it out as well. I would end up just missing the main half the time and then die because I couldn't scout. But apparently, Terran going for mass banshees on the ladder is a thing these days. And I guess it always has been, really, ever since people discovered that invisible things can shoot things that can't see them really well. In fact, you'll find that this tactic, it works. There are people that embrace this notion in all the mashups. Of course, for Zerg is a little bit different since it's burrow. And generally things can't fire when they're burrowed unless you count infestors throwing eggs around. But even so, those people exist. So the map, the ramp here on the natural is actually a little bit large. Doesn't matter too much for this matchup though. For PvP, PvP is really big. It's about scouting more than anything else. Figuring out what your opponent's going to do and doing what you can to counter it. It's less about executing a really standard, strong macro build, mostly because people haven't really hit that yet. When it does happen, though, games often descend into some kind of air battle or Colossus Archon versus Colossus Archon. That's apparently the big composition that's been coming out of a lot of the higher-end play these days. And looks like both players are patrolling around their opponent's bases. SawGunner with a very nice construction here, actually, blocking the scouting path with this probe. Forcing it to walk around. Unfortunately, I don't think Ender's paying too much attention. That probe is wandering straight through the mineral line. Could get himself shanked if he continues to do that. Both players following the usual anticipated path, in fact going for the double probe and gas, which is usually indicative of the stalker pressure from Ender. But SawGunnerTwo going for the more traditional one gas into second gas after Cybercore. I think if you don't see him grab a second gas in PvP, that's usually indicative of a 4-gate. But he may not necessarily be going for that. This could be a little bit of an error on his part. Ah, there we go. I was going to say a little bit late on that. You notice he has kind of a little bit more minerals than he would like. Could get up a second gateway. Actually, right now, even though he's going for whatever strategy he does pick, the second gateway would be a pretty useful thing to have at this point in time. SawGunner still getting good scout off down here, though. Does see the second gateway finish. And it looks like before he throws down anything, he wants to get that scout out of the base, and that's going to happen here shortly. 500 minerals, though, is actually quite a bit too much to have. Even if, regardless of the tech route you're going down, should be getting that spent. In any case, in the meantime, here we have... Ah, he's going for the expansion play. Now, this stalker pressure that Ender is going for here, or what? Yeah, because you can see here, he's got the second stalker. Third one's just about to come out. He's going to be able to walk across the map and actually do quite a bit of damage to this location here, as this Stalker and Mothership Core will be the only defenses for the short term. I don't know about the rush distances on this map, exactly how big they are, whether they really allow for this sort of thing or not. It looks like Ender is he regrouping with the Mothership Core? Okay. And then we're going to see him move out across the map. By the time he gets there, I think there's just enough time to get one more unit out if SawGunner decides to put his money into that. There we go. One sentry coming out here. Sentry's not going to be able to do a lot in this situation unless he can get a Guardian Shield up. Probably going to end up using it to force field this area here. Could lose this natural, actually. There's just really not much to go with this attack. And the Nexus itself is pretty far from finishing. If he gets the Mothership Core, that's this natural is going to be basically impossible to hold. Down goes the Stalker, which is already pretty rough. He's pushing forward against the Mothership Core, and at the least has gotten it out of position so that it will have a very, very, very hard time getting that Photon Overcharge off. He's trying to go for it, though. He's going to push forward with the Mothership Core. Almost made it. And Ender, unfortunately, is not watching this location, so he's got enough energy for that. He can actually work in there and throw that off, though it would be a little bit risky. He's going to attempt it. Here we go. He's moving forward to hit the Mothership, the Photon Overcharge. Does make it, and that's actually going to push this back. 3 Stalkers in the Mothership Core is not enough against a Photon Overcharge. And it covers the entirety of this base, so he can't even remain on the high ground here. He has to bug out. Meanwhile, back home, Ender has put up a base of his own. He's going to get that natural as well. He's going to be a little bit behind on that, but he'll be a little bit further ahead in tech. He's getting that Immortal tech out on top of this, which is going to be very good if his opponent decides to go for the same thing / more Stalkers. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. +1 upgrades coming out for SawGunner. Should give him a nice edge in this. I think both players have been supply blocked at a different point in this game. SawGunner is hitting that right now, unfortunately. In the meantime, Ender got over the one he had earlier. He's built a lot of pylons to overcome that. And he's getting a Immortal of his own out, along with a decent number of Stalkers. It would make sense for either player to actually go up into Blink Tech as well. From this point, get some more use out of these Stalkers as they go into the mid-game, but stopping here and going for other tech is also a reasonable choice. A couple of idle, have an idle probe there from Ender. Should consider getting another gas soon, or he's going to find that he has a hard time getting a lot out. Proxy pylon placed down from SawGunnerTwo. None from Ender as of right now, but similar compositions. Second Immortal. That Immortal count looks like it's going to be going up for SawGunnerTwo a little bit quicker than for Ender, but unfortunately he's got a little bit of a idle probe problem going on up there. So both players looking to just kind of push into the 2-base mid-game that's often present in StarCraft in a lot of matchups, and is actually becoming more and more common in Protoss versus Protoss. Again, we're seeing a little bit of an inefficiency here from SawGunner, inability to spend that money quickly, and then part of that is due to that supply block earlier. He's not getting those Immortals out as quickly as he would like. He doesn't have a lot of the other buildings up that he can just dump his gas into, so he's actually overmining that a little bit right now. But yeah, he's going up into 600 now. Regardless, it looks like we're going to have a engagement coming up here pretty soon. We have a big move out. 2 Immortals, 5 Stalkers, a couple Zealots. Moving in with a Sentry. Back home we have 3 Immortals and about 8 Stalkers. Yep. And 2 Sentries. I would actually say this defensive position for Ender is a little bit too strong. With the 3 Immortals there, without an additional Immortal on the back of that, even with the +1 upgrades, it's gonna be kind of difficult to engage into that with the Mothership, with the Photon Overcharge here. And you can even see that SawGunner runs forward with this Observer, picks up on this army, and you can see he's actually hanging back to build up his army a little bit bigger. Zealots are going to help out a lot here. Zealots are very, very good against Immortals. And in decent numbers like this, given the location of he'd be engaging in, it would actually be quite difficult for the Immortals to really do a lot against them. Unfortunately, there's still the reality, though, that this Photon Overcharge is going to be a little bit too strong against this. Even though, I can't remember how they changed it. I think it was just the cost, and then the vision of the Mothership Core was changed from, I think it used to be 13 down to 9. Where can we see that? Range. Actually doesn't say on here. Well, in any case, here comes the engagement. The Zealots are moving up to the front. Nicely done on SawGunner's part, none of them getting stuck at the back. No force fields going down from Ender, unfortunately. It means that these sentries are basically annihilated without accomplishing anything. No Guardian Shield either. They're basically just relying on Photon Overcharge, and as results of pretty bad micro mistake there, not utilizing any of the sentry energy, Ender has fallen. It is GG.